this is Michelle. Thank you for joining me on my channel today for this video using my Creative Scrapbook Limited Edition kit. My idea is to use a lot of the apple pieces that come in the Vintage Orchard, and right now I have this apple teeny picture that is going to change. And my apologies, I show you that stencil, and then the part where I actually do the stenciling, I messed up the filming. So let me talk you through it just a little bit. I did the stencil straight down the center, as you can see there, and I used texture paste, and then I used embossing, the Tim Holtz embossing glazes to cover up that texture paste, let it dry, and then heat embossed it. And so that's why you can see there's parts that are shinier than others. The embossing inks or um, glazes were the antique linen, vintage photo, walnut stain, and then speckled egg. And so I really liked how that looked. My apologies again for not showing it to you. And then I did do some splatters with speckled egg, antique linen, and walnut stain. And so there you go, moving on. I did a little bit of stamping there to the bottom left, and am going to build that cluster there. And you can see I have changed my photo. I just wasn't feeling the appletini, and I wanted to use this frame that comes in the kit. And so I went with a more of a 3x4 vertical aspect photo. And so I love this frame. There's a couple of them that come in the kit that look all layered up. I did take my craft knife and cut some slits into it so I could tuck some pieces of my own into those layers. And so that's what I'm working on there. I also have already picked my title, which is The Gather, and I wanted to tie in a little bit more speckled egg, so I did ink that title with that distress ink. And yeah, I mounted it on that apple piece. Now, the two apple pieces I cut out of another uh, vintage orchard paper that I had cut up for another reason, and I wanted to salvage the apples, and so I grabbed those and fussy cut them out. And I am going to go ahead and ink up some of my edges. I'm just using Vintage Photo for that. Let me see where I'm at. I feel like I've done so much talking already. So the three strips that are going down the side, two of them are, I believe, barcode strips, and the other I just cut out to fit out of the patterned paper. Okay. So, my picture that I am using is the Crescent Lake Lodge, which is a Olympic National Park lodge there in on the peninsula here in Washington. And I am just looking for other pieces that I can tie into it. Now, I love this lodge. It's very, you can tell it's very low key, but it on the inside and looking out to the lake, it just has this kind of old fashioned resort lake feel. And so we really enjoyed staying here just last month. So I found a couple flowers that I want to use, and I'm going to add just a little bit more stamping up in that right upper area. And I don't know if you noticed because I didn't talk about it. I wanted to add just a little bit more vertical interest, and so I cut out a couple of chunks there on the left and the right, and then backed it with a green paper. And then I took a stencil that has just a real small print and worked some uh, speckled egg into it as well. So more of that light blue color, trying to tie in those flowers, and the color I used in the mixed media. All right, so I have picked, that's pretty close to how my flowers are going to end up. I'm going to mostly use that cluster there by the title and then above the photo. I really love that Harvest Fields apple picking sign. And, um, sometimes I wonder, am I not being literal enough? Should I say things like this for just like if, I'm apple picking or doing something with apples? And um, I decide it's more of a mood, right? So this picture has kind of a farmhouse vibe. So I am just going with it. Okay, I am going to go ahead and use these banner style word phrases with this. So I have the so awesome under the gather, and then my heart is happy is going to go on the apple at the above right. And oh yeah, and then I have a couple of stamps. Now that stamp that I just put there was kind of white, and I didn't want to do white on white, so I did shade with that with speckled egg as well. And then I have these two little bees. Now they were in the paper. I didn't have it in me to fussy cut them, so I just cut them out with a little quarter, or it might be a half inch. Yeah, it looks more like a half inch um, circle punch. And then you'll see towards the end, I cover those with some acrylic dome pieces to kind of make those feel like more of a feature. So I liked what I had there. So now I'm going to start adhering my bits and pieces. And I'm going to use primarily collage medium. Now I don't show you on camera, but I do, press each flower down for, I don't know, 15 to 30 seconds and get them to kind of grip a little bit before I move on. I'm going to add these little ribbon swirls to each cluster as well. Now, I don't know if you'll believe me, but I really started this layout thinking I was going to do something just really vertical down the center, try to keep it real minimal and real narrow and, epic fail. I just um, like my clusters big, so I should just embrace it. So I've added that tag there to the right. That's where my little journal strips are going to go that say Crescent Lake Lodge and the dates, and go ahead and adhere those on my layout. And then what else do I have? I have all those pieces that I've pulled over there to the right of my layout that were really more apple centric. The little buckets of apples and single apples. And so I'm going to try to work quite a few of those in. This one is going to go at the top above this butterfly and greenery that I also cut out of that apple paper. And then I'm going to have a heart that goes on top of that as well. And now I'm looking at where to add just a few more apples. So I do that one up at the top left, um, or top center, I should say. And then I'm going to put this one, I think, on the top left, and I get it all inked up. And nope, I'm going to put it over there to the right. And I I don't even know why I did that, but I sometimes you just I Don't even know what to say. But I ended up liking it, so it's going to stay over there. And then this sign I decide not to use. Feel like things are getting full enough, so I'm going to go ahead and hear some of the things that I already have planned and going on. And then some of the remaining pieces that I still want to do. Oh, yeah, I forgot I did add some thread to this layout. So I have a little bunch of thread that I put under that green flower, and then I have some more thread coming here that is going to go above the other one. And I say green, it's more of a seafoam um, color, but it felt like it needed just a little bit more red, so I chose to use some thread on this layout. So some of the other pieces I'm going to use are in the kit, there are some buttons, and so I'm going to add those. I'm going to add those little acrylic domes that I mentioned that would go over the bees. And I think that is getting close to the end because, oh yeah, there's my hearts and my little buttons because I had done my splattering earlier, so I don't need to do any more. And my flowers, I like them as is on this layout, so I'm not going to touch those up at all either. So you should all go to my creative scrapbook and check out their kits. And so there's this one, the limited edition kit, but they also have others. They have a creative kit and uh, a main kit that have different product, different vibes. Their link is in the description. And here are some close ups. Thank you, everyone.